Welcome to Puerto Rico English News, the only English-speaking broadcast of local Puerto Rican news and entertainment. Please subscribe. Keep us alive.
Sunday, December 5th, San Juan, Puerto Rico. A man died and 2 other people were injured in a shootout this morning on Avenida 65 de Infanteria, in San Juan. The identity of the victims has not been released. So far this year there have been 576 murders, according to police data. A man was shot to death Saturday, December 4th, in an apartment in the Enrique Cataño residential area, in Vega Baja. His identity has not been released. The authorities reported that the 49-year-old deceased was identified by relatives and had a criminal record for theft. In Arecibo, Puerto Rico, the shot body of a man was found Sunday, December 5th, at the entrance to the Arecibo Municipal Landfill located on PR 682, Factor neighborhood in the Zanja Fria sector. The discovery was made by a municipal policeman from San Juan, who was in the area with his family. From the entrance of the garbage dump you can access the popular Zanja Fria spring. The man was reportedly shot and has not been identified. Saturday, December 4th, a 26-year-old man was murdered at kilometer 3.5 of the PR 734, Monticello sector, of the Arenas neighborhood in Sidra, Puerto Rico, the police reported. The victim had multiple gunshot wounds. A woman was also injured. The shooting occurred while the victims were in a car. The names of the victims have not been released.
Friday, December 3rd, a 30-year-old woman sued after being scammed. After seeing an advertisement on Facebook, she reportedly paid $1,750 to a service that promised to tell her future and direct her toward true love. Cataño, Baja, Puerto Rico, plaintiff carried out 2 transactions after seeing a promotion on Facebook where they assured her that they would tell her the future.
Saturday, December 4th, a woman stole a man's car by carjacking on the premises of the Oriental Bank located on PR 174 in Bayamón, Puerto Rico, police reported. The Bayamón Criminal Investigation Corps undertook the investigation.
Friday, December 3rd, authorities are investigating a robbery at the Rainbow Store, on Paseo de Diego, in Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico, where suspects stole thousands of dollars from a safe. The theft was presumed to have occurred Thursday evening, December 2nd. $11,000 cash was reported taken from the safe and a large quantity of merchandise was removed from the store.
Thursday, December 2nd, Isla Verde, Carolina, Puerto Rico. Someone stole $8,000 in cash that was inside a vehicle in the parking lot of the Galaxy condominium, on Isla Verde Avenue, a complainant reported to the police. The victim reported leaving the bank with a cash bag for payroll and household expenses. After leaving the car parked for only a few minutes, the smash and grab robbery occurred.
Sunday, December 5th, Gabaca, Puerto Rico, authorities are investigating the circumstances in which a 9-year-old girl was found to be with an apparent gunshot wound on Sunday night at a Luis Muñoz Rivera residence in Guanaca. The minor was eating with several people in front of a building in the area when 2 individuals began to shoot.
Wednesday, December 1st, one day before resigning, the former mayor of Cataño, Puerto Rico Félix Cano Delgado, went to the headquarters of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and signed an agreement with the authorities whose focus is alleged illegalities committed under his administration, revealed the source linked to the former municipal executive. The extravagant lifestyle of Félix Cano Delgado Montalvo caught the attention of many people, even within the New Progressive Party's own ranks, due to the incompatibility of his image with the salary of $66,000 per year that he earned as an executive of one of the territorial municipalities. Smaller and with little more than 23,000 inhabitants. Thursday, December 2nd, the former Cataño mayor pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy, bribery, and kickbacks, as part of an agreement with the federal prosecutor's office for a complaint issued on November 30th, the same day he submitted his resignation as the municipal mayor. The former mayor was accused of awarding 50 contracts worth nearly $10 million to an asphalt company. The federal authorities confiscated over $100,000 in cash and several expensive watches.
Ponce, Puerto Rico, Monday, December 6, nearly 3 years after the murder of the young Valerie Ann Almodovar Ojeda. The lawyers of the defendant for the crime will call their only witness for the defense of the graffiti artist Juan Luis Cornier Torres, alias Manuel Uno. The genetic profile found on the knife corresponds to the defendant Juan Luis Cornier Torres. 38 stab wounds were inflicted on the San German resident Valerie Ann Almodovar Ojeda. The crime occurred on Monday, December 17, 2018, in a residence in Ponce. Lauren Benet Torres, ex-partner of the accused Juan Luis Cornier Torres, confessed that the body of Almodovar Ojeda was in the living room of the defendant's home. She has claimed she helped dispose of the body and has reached a plea agreement with the prosecution.
San Juan Court, Thursday, December 2, Luis A. Rivera Santana, former Director of Operations and Purchasing at Doctors Center Hospital, was sentenced to 4 years of probation for a fraud scheme in which he appropriated $1.2 million in funds from the hospital, Judge Gisela determined. According to the evidence presented, Luis Rivera Santana, using his position, created a network of fictitious suppliers to illegally appropriate $1.2 million from the hospital. These suppliers consisted of 3 shell companies created and managed by the suspect and his wife.
Thursday, December 2, Gurabo, Puerto Rico, businessman Mario Villegas Vargas pleaded not guilty after being arrested for corruption in Gurabo. The arrest takes place while federal authorities are investigating several mayors and former public officials for a corruption scheme. He was released on bail after being indicted by a federal grand jury.
Bayamon, Puerto Rico, Monday, December 6, the former mayor of Guaynabo, Hector O'Neill, pled guilty in the case he was facing for domestic violence and sexual assault, in addition to violations of the government ethics law. This is established by the plea agreement presented on what would have been the first day of trial against O'Neill and which was accepted by Judge Maria Z. Trigo Ferraioli of the Bayamon Judicial Center. The preliminary agreement included the reclassification of some crimes, among them the charge of sexual assault, which was reclassified to violation of the domestic violence law. The agreement specifies that in the 4 charges the court will sentence the accused to pay the special penalty for the crime victims and witnesses' compensation and services fund at a rate of $300 in the 2 serious cases and $100 in each of the 2 less serious cases, for a special penalty of $800. In addition, the former mayor must pay $12,000 to the Office of the Panel on the Independent Special Prosecutor to cover part of the expenses incurred by the state in the cases.
Tuesday, November 30, Dominican producer and songwriter Rafael Rafi Pina Nieves will face trials starting next Monday, December 13, on charges of illegal possession of weapons. Pina Nieves rejected a plea deal regarding allegations of illegal weapons. April 1, 2020, agents from the Federal Bureau of Investigation raided a residence in the Caguas Real neighborhood of this municipality that several media claim is owned by the producer of urban music, Rafi Pina. They seized a vault full of weapons and reportedly have wiretaps that will be admitted into evidence.
Friday, December 3, Nobel Prize-winning economist Joseph Stiglitz warns that Puerto Rico's debt will be unsustainable. In a forum of the Center for a New Economy, the laureate economist assured that, if not done well, the debt restructuring will weaken the economy forever. In addition to debt, the economist argued that government administrations did not know how to grow or develop Puerto Rico's competitive advantages. He gave as an example the companies that arrived thanks to federal incentives known as Section 936 and indicated that Puerto Rico did not seek to develop other attractions for pharmaceutical companies beyond the tax benefit. Also referring to Section 936 companies, the economist argued that although much emphasis was placed on the loss of this incentive as one of the catalysts for the crisis, other economic measures that the United States took, such as NAFTA or the North American Free Trade Agreement, took away Puerto Rico's competitiveness in 1994. This resulted in the recession that started in 2006. The economist also highlighted the importance of restructuring through bankruptcy as soon as possible. The Puerto Rican national debt is now approximately $74 billion, but unlike mainland municipalities, Puerto Rico is not protected by Chapter 9 of the U.S. Bankruptcy Code and cannot file for bankruptcy. The territory will be able to file unless it is granted statehood.
Monday, December 6, a Puerto Rican was chosen as one of the 10 new astronaut candidates of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration among more than 12,000 applicants to work in space on behalf of the United States. Engineer Marcos Berros, 37, belongs to the United States Air Force. The Puerto Rican was described as a distinguished pilot who has collected greater than 110 flight missions and 1,300 flight hours. While he was a reservist within the Air National Guard, he worked as an aerospace engineer for the United States Army Aviation Development Directorate at Moffett Field Airfield in California. Berros has a BA in Mechanical Engineering from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and an MA in Mechanical Engineering, in addition to a PhD in Aeronautics and Astronautics from Stanford University.
Saturday, December 4, Ponce, Puerto Rico. At the University of Puerto Rico, UPR, in Ponce, Drs. Sonia J. Bylan Ruiz and Yerlin Cataño Mate developed an effective way to eliminate contaminants in bodies of water, and their research, publications and dedication led them to win $527,575 from the Department of Defense of the United States to continue its work. As main researcher, Sonia J. Bylan Ruiz assured that, with the acquisition of the new state-of-the-art equipment, she will enhance the advancement of her studies.
San Juan, Puerto Rico, Sunday, December 5, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention launched an investigation on the Explorer of the Seas cruise ship, based in San Juan, for cases of COVID-19. The Explorer of the Seas conducted a test voyage October 29 to 31 from San Juan. Upon completion, the capital became its home port for the next 5 months. Starting on November 7, it was 2 members of the crew who tested positive a little over a week ago and are in isolation. The crew members' contacts were negative for the tests, Liz Dianacevedo, spokesperson for the Department of Health, explained.
To board the cruise ship, passengers must undergo an antigen test or PCR, 48 hours before sailing. Once inside, the use of a mask is required at all times and in any place, unless otherwise indicated by staff. The daily average of confirmed cases in Puerto Rico continues to increase. According to the daily report of the Department of Health, it is at 61, with 154,443 accumulated. To date, 3,273 deaths have been attributed to the pandemic. This calculates to a 0.1% death rate on an island of 3.2 million.
Breaking news, Monday, December 6, Ponce, Puerto Rico. Judge Daniel R. Lopez declared the graffiti artist Juan Luis Cornier Torres, alias Manuel Uno, guilty for the murder of Valeriana Almodovar Ojeda on December 17, 2018 in Ponce. The verdict was rendered Monday afternoon. Cornier Torres was charged with stabbing the young woman to death.
Here's your weather forecast for this week.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Help us survive.